Howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. And welcome to this, a brand new day where I cannot see my monitors or how I usually check to see if I'm staying centered. It's way over there. I'm looking that way. I'm using my webcam, and yay! So thumbs up. Anyway, I hope you are having a good day. I woke up early so that early. I woke up before 8 o'clock, between 7:30 and 8, so I could take my blood pressure med at the same time, and then quickly got dressed, went over, paid my rent. Now, we're supposed to pay it by the 5th, but today ain't the 5th. It's past that. I meant to go in and pay my rent on Friday, but with my anxiety burst that came from going into the community center filled with people, by the time I could even think about paying my rent, it was after 4 o'clock, and they work from 8 to 4. So I couldn't pay it on Friday. Went in there to explain, and he said, well, you couldn't have paid it anyway. I was in Michigan. So no late fee for being late. Thumbs up for that. But I got that done. Definitely a good thing. The only real major big thing I want to talk about is this. One thing that I have gotten fairly recently, making sure that it's on camera, while not covering up my face entirely anyway. I got this fairly recently because it was like less than $4. The actual rules for this part of it are 16 pages, including a character sheet. And then it's got stuff that you can just photocopy to play. It probably would have been even cheaper if they had it on Drive-Thru RPG, where you can just get the PDF. But they didn't, and I picked it up because it seemed like it would be fun. Now, being that it's so basic, it is very simple. Unlike games like For Against Darkness or whatever that are open-ended, this has a point. You're trying to go into the dungeon, which is randomly generated, to collect 3 pieces, fragments, to assemble a boss key. And when the boss key is assembled, then you fight the boss of the dungeon. And if you survive, then you make your way back out of the dungeon and you've won. So there's no experience, there's no gaining levels or getting better in any way, shape, or form. You don't. The character you start off in the beginning is the character you have at the end. But since you win, there's no need to do anything else. You've won. But even though you won, you can play again, and you will have an entirely different experience because of the random generation. And you roll on various tables, like what's your final boss going to be? You roll for it. So that's definitely good. Now, the combat system is really simple. The monsters have, as a combat rating, 3 numbers. That might be 3, 2, 1, just as an example. 3 will be their attack, 2 will be their defense, and 1 is how many hit points they have. And you just roll a 6-sided die. For their attack, you do all the rolls. Well, that's the number that you have to roll to attack them. So you have to roll above that number. To defend against their attack, you have to roll above that number, and then just tick away their hit points if you got a successful hit. And if you fail in your defense, you lose 1 hit point. And that's basically the rules. And it's got the random generation for making up the dungeon, and random treasures, random traps, random everything. And as I've seen happening in a fair number of recent hard copy things, there's difficulty levels. You can start at it easy or normal or hard. There's another game I've got. I can't remember. No. It's I don't know if it's a board game or if it's a RPG. I can't frickin' remember right now. But it's got 4 difficulty levels. I remember that. And all depending on what you choose, it makes the game harder or more difficult. So, thumbs up for that. I wish more things would do that. But then, I guess you can make them up and go along as you go. Or something like that. Yeah. But past that, I have not had a whole lot happen. Now, one of the things that I did do yesterday was go to my storage unit. I made a long walk to go from... Did I? Yeah, I went from my place to Walmart to my storage unit and then home, which is under 3 miles. But I race walked at my near normal speed with next to no limp. It still hurt like hell. Oh boy, it's going to be a while before that stops hurting. I can't show you because I can't reach from where I'm sitting. Just one moment, I got this. I had in storage these new boots. But these aren't new boots. These are old boots that I have had. But as you can see, the heel, the soles and all that are fine. I've had these things from like 2017 or 2018. But I've only worn them when the weather was bad. And I got them and wore them when I lived on the other side of Shelton, on the southern side of Shelton. And I have worn holes in my current work boots. Make sure I'm still semi-centered. I have worn holes in my current work boots. Literal holes. So if I go out where it's damp, I'm going to sneeze soon. My sinuses are hurting. If I go out where it's damp, water just goes right into the holes in the bottom of my shoes and gets the insides of my shoes wet and my feet get wet. So that's great. But I went to try and find shoelaces because the old shoelaces for that thing were terrible and I don't want to use them. But I don't have any shoelaces that fit. So I gotta go walking up to Walmart in these things to get them done. Them done as in shoelaces that work, so I can go and use the old boots so that I don't have to use shoes that are awful. On the other hand, when I went to put the orthotics into there, they don't fit. I'd have to cut them to make them fit. And these aren't wide, and I need wide. So, I think I'm just going to have to buy new boots at Walmart. So, yay. Life is life. But still, my heels are getting better because of the orthotics. So that's a very good thing. I am glad. I'm not at the I can go walking the way I would like to stage yet. But I am getting closer. And that's a very good thing. Definitely a thumbs up. But past that, taking a look around at my place here to see if there's anything that I wanted to talk about, the only big thing that I'm trying to figure out now is space. Once again, I don't know why, this part of my lip is, and the side of my cheek is all itchy all of a sudden. I'm trying to figure out where to put all of my stuff again. Because I brought all of my stuff back. When I say all, I brought most of my stuff back from the storage unit because as intelligent as it is to limit my choices by keeping stuff in the storage unit, I didn't like doing that. I want it all here. So I've been bringing it all back. I've got everything but just a couple pieces left. There's like four. I've got 2, and I only had 4. So there's still 2 of my final girl box sets in there, as well as a couple other pieces that aren't as large. But as soon as I get all that back, then it'll all be here. But it's just right now, I have all my Mike Lambo war books and all of my D100 stuff and my Fabled Land books out. And I don't know where to put them at the moment because there ain't no room. And that's after I already moved my stack of printed out RPG papers that I keep in a box like thing. I ran out of room when I started putting all my stuff back up there. So I need to run stuff to my storage unit. I need to clean my storage unit. In the year and some that I've had it now, it's gotten pretty messed up for me digging around in there. Oh joy. God, I wish I hadn't sneezed. Mainly because, it hurts and now my nose is running. Life is life. So that's basically what I've been doing. I've been playing what video games I can, and I've been watching way too many videos. I've been going out on walks when I can, and I've been reading my RPG stuff and my board game stuff and my RPGs and board game stuff. That's really all I have. So I have been looking through that. I was digging through all of my various figures and meeples again, just because they're fun to play with, if nothing else. Because remember, you don't have to play a game to play a game. Even if you only think about it and engage with it in that fashion, you are engaging with it in that fashion. Even if it's not physical, you are still playing the game, even though you might be in another town thinking about the books and situations that you would be doing in them. So, yeah, thumbs up for that. Now my nose itches. Life is life, isn't it? So checking the time over here, it is 12 minutes and change. Now, I want to talk about this because I've mentioned it on my community tab, but I imagine very few people actually take a look at the community tab. Unless you're on mobile. I've gotten a lot of people that click on mobile. Thank you very much. That is appreciated. But as I would try to bring it back to what I was originally talking about, I'm not just turning my back on everything and only doing liminal pool type horror. I am going to be doing more No Man's Sky. I'm going to be doing a new Minecraft series. I am just at this moment fixated on horror stuff. I watched horror for a very long time on YouTube, but I've never really enjoyed horror games on their own. And even though liminal horror stuff isn't traditional horror, I'm really enjoying this stuff. I mentioned in-game that when I'm playing this stuff, my skin is crawling the entire time, pretty much. Quite often, when the weird noises happen or something really bizarre goes on real fast, the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. They are creepy, unnerving things. And even though, your brain is a sophisticated piece of kit, and it knows that it's in no danger when you're playing a game. At the same time, as I've mentioned, your brain has to believe what it sees through its eyes, has to believe what it hears through its ears. Now, we have after initial contact? First initial, I can't think of the word, but we have that after first contact processing where the brain goes, at first it's and then, I'm sitting in a chair playing a game. And then your conscious mind gets to accept everything that you've taken in. So your mind has to believe everything it sees and hears. But the post-processing will make it so that you don't actually believe you're going to die. But because that first rush of stuff, yes, your body will go into fight or flight mode, which is, again, if you have trouble sleeping and you play fast motion, first person type shooters, anything where you have to think fast and your adrenaline is up, you're not going to be able to sleep. You're in fight or flight mode. So it's going to take extra time to wind down. Or just plain a couple hours before you go to bed. Don't do that kind of thing. And talking about going to bed, he said in an ADHD racked topic change here, I've been trying to go to bed earlier because I've been trying to take better care of myself. It was after 1 o'clock before I got to bed last night. That will periodically happen where I mean to get to bed closer to 11 and it's after 1. And I don't mean it was 1 o'clock when I fell asleep. I mean I was dressed, sitting here at 1, still trying to get things all wrapped up. I had 90% of everything ready. It's just I was sitting in my chair instead of in bed. But then there are times that I can take my melatonin gummies at midnight and at 1:30 I'm crawling into bed. And there are times like last night when I take my melatonin gummies at 11 o'clock and at 1 o'clock I am still awake. One of the reasons I hadn't gone to bed, because I don't like just lying in bed awake, because that's when all the dark intrusive thoughts start coming in. When I say dark intrusive thoughts, I don't mean, oh, I'm going to do something bad to myself. No, it's thinking about, what is my heart doing? Is it going to stop? Boy, you know, if I just die tonight, what's going to happen? How long is my body going to sit in here? So, not fun thoughts. Anytime like now, I mean, I'm mentioning them now and I'm fine. But that's because I'm mentioning them now in daylight when I can be distracted by other things instead of laying in bed in the dark with nothing to distract me from those. So, thumbs up. Anyway, though, as stated, I have been trying to get some extra sleep because sleep is important, and so I've been trying to get to bed closer to midnight, between 11 at midnight and not between 12 and 1. And I have my alarm clock, as I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video, set at about 10 to 8, so that 10 to 8 it goes off, I get up, I take my BP med, same day every time. So, thumbs up. Oh, and another thing, ADHD racked topic change. I was thinking on the past couple days, I've talked about various people and how they've talked in turn about the issues of trying to do stuff on YouTube, etc., etc., etc. Oh, try to remember. God, talk ADHD fuel topic change. Now it's one of those ADHD brain. What I was talking about was pulled out of my head as I was talking about it. I wish I could remember. It sucks to forget what you're talking about as you're talking about it. Now, when that happens to me, like in here, when I feel it being pulled out of my head and I can forget, when I lose track of everything, it is a terrible feeling. But because I'm not really pressured, I will either A, just go, well, oh well, or B, I can sit and sometimes it'll go, and I'll come back. And so it's like a big, like almost like a fugue state where it's like everything is fine and I'm thinking about 5 or 6 things. But then sometimes it'll go, and I can go, okay, that's thought number 1. Thought 2, thought 3, 4, 5, and then it comes back just that fast. Today is not one of those days. Such is life. checking my time over here, 19 minutes in. Hey, blatant engagement farming. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very, very awesome. Making sure to share only, of course, with people that you think would, oh, I remember now what I was talking about. With people that you think would like watching an older man talk about I name topics in a usually incomprehensible fashion, usually only incomprehensible because of, well, ADHD brain. Yeah, but what I was thinking about real fast is yesterday or so, and lately I've been talking about how I did not start my channel for fame or fortune, and that how, I wouldn't turn my back on them if they came across. But on top of all of my other issues that I have, YouTube is a young person's platform, and as much as I don't like it, I'm old now. I'm 62 years old, and I talk about getting older and being an older or old man now. And for a younger audience, that's boring as an awful. So, yeah, I know many of the reasons why I don't have vast fame and fortune. And why I am very appreciative for every single one of you out there that watches my videos. For everybody that not only watches but comments and likes and subscribes and actually has donated to not only my GoFundMes and our Patreon patrons, but have donated to my PayPal. You are all such beautiful and awesome people. Thank you. But yes, pointing out, I understand why. I mean, that's not necessarily an end. There are all sorts of people who are older, who have been adopted by internet audiences. So I'm not saying by being an old man that that's the end. No chances are available. No doors will open. I'm just saying, hey, that limits my choices, but you know what? That's natural too. I'm an old man. Life is life. And hey, if you're a Patreon patron, thumbs up. Thank you so very, very much. It is appreciated. Greatly, greatly, very much so. Without your help, I would be, well, hurting a lot more than I am. It is greatly appreciated. When you look in the mirror, you're looking at someone who is beautiful and awesome. Thumbs up and thank you. And for everybody that leaves me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome in your own way. I read every comment that YouTube shows me. I thumbs up and heart every comment that YouTube allows, and I answer as many comments as my nerve compression will allow me. Which it can take me up to 48 hours to answer a comment, but I try my best to answer as many as I can, as quickly as I can. If I haven't answered in 2 days, keep checking back. If I haven't answered in 3, the odds aren't good. And of course, if you are interested in more me, I do, as stated earlier, put posts onto my community tab. I try to do at least one every 24 hours. I don't always succeed at bunk, and there are days that I will post up to 5-6 times. So hey, check it out if you like. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Well, I'm going to edit, render, upload. I was Englishing. I would like to walk to the physical therapy place. I need to walk to the library to get the printing done that I couldn't get done over the weekend. And past that, I just would like to go to Walmart and grab some food for like later today and tomorrow. I need to try and not buy junk, which is hard to do. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done, and if not, please do not beat yourself up. It does not help you get things done better next time, and you deserve better. And my nose itches. These are two separate things. They are not connected in any way, shape, or form. So, until we meet again, You take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very good thing. Oh, here's the other thing. I gotta reach way over there so I can get to the mouse so I can press the stop recording button because I didn't think this part of it out. You know what? I'm going to reach over there with my left because what with all my nerve compression and such, I am now predominantly left-handed. I use my right mostly for the heavy lifting. It has become my heavy lifting manual arm, and my left has become my fine duty dexterous hand, manual dexterity, physical moving stuff, which is a complete roundabout. But then I've been pretty much ambidextrous my whole life, so I can pick and choose which side is my dominant hand, except for situations like this where my body said, nah, this one's now your dominant. Thumbs up for that. Gotta find that stop recording button again.